commissioned officers in the Army of Gmodism, and enlisted. We're here for another bomber challenge, and this episode we will be going through the next stage, which is the submarine. So I have asked you to provide bombers that can deal with a slightly submerged target. The target of choice will be the White Flayer's Pontus. With that said, we will get into the challenge. I just want to give a huge thanks to our highest commissioned officers, Admiral Super Dave, Captain Y, Lieutenants Asteria, Stellar Lieutenant C2, Lieutenant Cravey, Venerated Lieutenant Powered by Greed, and Lieutenant Tyleras, Lieutenant Vincent Veritas, and of course all our cadets. The Stellar and Venerated, that's YouTube memberships in combination. Very cool. In any case, let's get into the challenge and see which one of your designs will provide the best results here. Here we are in game, and we are going to look at all these designs in the same order as before, which means alphabetically sorted. First out would be Adnekrias Storyhana. Here we have the White Flayer Pontus. It is spawned to the side 3000 meters away, and as you can see, it's ever so slightly submerged. We're going to begin with this target and see how visible it is. I think it might be a little bit hard to see it if you don't have any type of detection in order to detect it. I guess it will be a little bit hard to hit it with wireless snoopers. There we can see some pretty big EMP. Seems to have not affected them too much. It seems we're trying to hit the Storyhana. She's really trying to hit the Pontus here, but of course it's kind of difficult. The Pontus shouldn't really have anything that would affect. Oh, what has happened here with its propellers? Interesting. Oh, look at that. We have some internal damage for its steam propeller, so it has pretty bad engine power. But it seems that the Storyhana has a little bit of an issue aiming and hitting it. Yeah, we seem to be knowing where it is at least. The gun in the wing is searching for the target. And it's very, very, very off. It's very, very off. I only think it can guess where it is some of the time. However, the missiles did hit. Now it's a little bit lower in the water, so we'll see if future missiles would hit it at all or not. Well, we're just chilling here. We got new missiles incoming. Oh, they grazed by. Seems that they missed the target. They don't seem to be able to. It's possible that a wireless snooper may know the general direction, but these shells bounce from the surface and the missiles don't really hit. Well, it seems that the Pontus will be able to swim around here all day and deal all sorts of damage to other naval ships that would not be able to take it out. We can see we did get a hit there, so the Storyhana hits sometimes, but you know, it barely sees it and it doesn't seem to be able to deal with it with a reasonable amount of time. So I think I know I got enough information to write down the points for the Storyhana. So we will be moving on to the next vehicle, which is a fan favorite. Korvax, or the Secret Advisors, B-57 Army of Gmodism Manta War, which also happens to be rather large. The Pontus has been spawned. The Manta War is activating. And now we should see here. It's dipping. No. I think it will do a submarine mood. Wow, it looks so cool in this bad weather here. Perhaps the Pontus isn't submerged enough to be counted. We missed the first barrage. Perhaps it is too surface. No. Now it dips down to try and get some... Oh, it goes up there. The Manta War is flying organically. It's so darn cool. And it is using its little sonar on a stick. Let's see if we'll get... Right, now we should have good bearing towards the enemy. And okay, it's trying to search it. Did we lose it? Pontus is there. Okay. It seems that the Manta War has lost track of the target, perhaps. I guess it has in its script to... Oh, yo. It might actually know where it is. Let's see if it waits for the sonar to get accurate. There it goes. No. Let's see here. It comes around. No, it turns away. We're now turning around again and going towards the Pontus. And oh, why did we shoot at that direction? That was a hard miss. Not really using its sonar there at all. It seems to only use the sonar when it's escaping the enemy or something. And then it's going up again. And now we're diving to do an attack, but then we're going away. Seems that the Manta War has real troubles maneuvering this. Since it seemed to have been in an unlucky loop, we've spawned the Pontus a long way further off. And we're gonna see if it gets the optimal chances, if it can target and hit a Manta War using its sonar on the stick. The first volley is completely off. It fires before. It fires before, okay. And now it runs away again. So it seems that it might put itself in a pretty unlucky loop. Pretty unexpected and lackluster. The Manta War is expected to exceed in a lot of compartments. So this is definitely an area where a lot of you other contestants that you have submitted, where you have a lot of chance to gather in some extra points here. Because as so far, the Manta War has actually been unable to deal any damage towards the Pontus. The Manta War looks very amazing and it's very cool, and this sonar on a stick was a cool idea, but it's syncing for checking where the enemy is, and the targeting and the timing for shooting the shells. They're not like timed up enough, so it seems that it hasn't gathered good enough detection before it fires the shots, which means it misses every time. So perhaps the Manta War can only deal with large submarines, but for this particular challenge, the score isn't very high at all. Next up, we'll have Jonos Isanth 5 from StarMade, if you already didn't know that, which is more of a meme submission. And if I don't remember incorrectly, I think this was said to not be able to deal a lot with where the Pontus may be located. So we shall see. I don't know if it knows where the target is at all. It seems to. And ooh, that volley wasn't that far off actually. It's getting pretty much chased down by a submarine that won't be able to deal it damage. And it seems to have perhaps a wireless snooper, but nothing really to get a good bearing of the Pontus. So we'll see if luck will work in the South 5's favor. Seems that the Pontus is actually quicker. And it has a small missile too, so it can deal some damage. The South 5 has really hard time even shooting at the Pontus at this angle. I think we can conclude that the South 5 is unable to deal with the Pontus here. It's very unlikely it will give any shots to it. So we'll get the same points as the previous contestant. But we'll be moving on to Jono's first submission instead, which is his little more serious submission. The South 5 is more fun because it's star-made. Here we have the amazing looking AoG bomber with drill missiles and a big cram. So the Pontus is hiding somewhere in the water. Oh, it seems that we got a bearing of it. Very interesting. We seem to have somewhat knowledge of where it might be. Oh, hoo, 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 hoo. That was a good hit. Bam. Okay, that's very nice. Jono's AoG bomber was able to detect the Pontus, was able to aim at it good enough to be able to deliver a cram cannon blast to its side. And it's a pretty small target, so I'm saying that's pretty darn impressive. It's a good job dealing with it. Look at that, and it even had time to show off its intercepting missiles here. You can see we got a little setup there. We're just gonna pause it and check where what we got. Yeah, of course, like that, and a friend and foe. Oh, then the... I'm just wondering like how small it is, just so very compact. So we got a computer there. Makes a lot of sense. Well, we're diving down for another one. Here we can see the tiny drills popping in there, working as anti-munition systems. And I'm thinking we need to... Oh, look at that. Look at that in slow motion. Bam! That's accuracy. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have accuracy. That's a pretty good accuracy. So, Jono's AoG bomber has a lot of accuracy. The cram bomb in particular, I think it's more penetrative than strong, so it works probably better against some targets than others. But you can see here that it can do this all day. It can go around, shoot down a cram and go back, and it does a good job of it. It does a good job. We would have wanted to see some more damage dealt to it a little bit more directly. We can see that the damage dealing is slow, but the accuracy of these cram cannons is something that we just have to say is highly impressive. Alright, it comes in for another dive. Bam! There we go. It killed it. It killed it. That's good. That's good. Very impressive. Very impressive. But now we shall be moving on to the next submission. This one is... We'll be getting some good scores, I believe. Here we have kind of sexy Eldrosh Kosh. The plane is in the air. The Pontus is hiding somewhere in the waters. Will it be able to deal with it? It seemed to have detected the approximate whereabouts of the Pontus. Pontus is launching a missile. Which misses. Yeah. Kinda sexy plane is targeting. And missiles are popping down. Oh, that was a close one. They have secondary torpedoes. Okay, they got secondary torpedoes. They're trying to snake their way towards the Pontus. No, we missed. The missiles don't... Oh. That was so close. So it didn't have laser contact with the Pontus long enough. So the missiles self-destructed before they hit the target. Let's see if the second blast will be more successful. They are not, but the laser is still there. Oh no. Some of them hit, but the blast made the rest not hit, and now the laser doesn't point at the Pontus anymore. So most of the missiles were unable to deal damage. However, one of them it's having a lock on. Missiles are popping it out. They missed again. Okay, the lasers are still there. Oh, and the blast made most of them miss. And now it doesn't have laser contact anymore. Man, if Kinda Sexy would have a laser that would constantly point towards the enemy no matter what, I believe that it would have been a much more effective combat design. They seem to always miss the first blast, and there are a few seconds more where we have laser lock-on, but unfortunately it only counts for the first ones that are reaching the target. The missiles that are coming afterwards are blown away by the blast radius, and then they are then not able to follow up, because then the laser will be not pointing towards the enemy craft anymore. So it does deal. Look at that. Come on, get in there fast. Oh, and you can see it's like that. So they are able to deal damage to the submarine. They are able to detect it, which is great. But the damage dealt is so small and so ineffective. This will take all day. I suspect it would be more helpful. This would be more helpful at, I don't know, helping other missiles to guide as a supportive system. But this plane alone will take a long time to take out this Pontus. We already said it before, but another damage type for these missiles would have been beneficial. Oh, now you can see it's dealing some more damage there. So it is dealing damage, which is nice, but it's having troubles delivering this damage to an enemy like this. So I think I know where to grade this one, and we will indeed then move on to the next contestant. Next up we have Light of the World's Star Drop. The Pontus is hiding somewhere in the water. It seems that the Star Drop knows where it is. Is that a decoy or a buoy? No, that's a decoy only. But we have a approximate bearing of the enemy. Oh, and we fired a pack there. I do believe that pack missed. We're now dropping down a Okay. I don't know where that is going. Whoops. Wrong way. Wrong place to lock on. Oh, that was a pretty close. It's a pretty close shot, but the star drop would really need to be getting in a little bit closer here. Like, if you don't have a dedicated accuracy to deal with submarines, you'll need to be able to do a pretty accurate bomb dive in order to really get in there and deal some damage. Now, it seems to not really know its bearings all the time. The Pontus isn't like super quick, but it's like 30 meters per second, which is pretty decent. Oh, it's really off. It has no idea where the Pontus is right now. Let's see if this missile, this torpedo will drop down. Here we got the torpedo. And oh, look, look, look. We got an EMP surge in there. So yeah, it kinda ish knows where the target is. It tries to deal damage. We're gonna stay here a little bit longer and see if it's actually able to substantially deal with it. I guess that if this was a really EMP susceptible submarine, I suppose that torpedo would have been much more effective. But this one has good enough protection, it seems like. Alright. The star drop is popping up here again. It's getting pretty close here. It's really close. It should be able to... Oh yeah. It should really be able to... Yes. 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 It was able to deal some pack damage there. Look at it. I wonder if our Pontus friend is AI dead. It is indeed. It is indeed. It might have been a really well delivered EMP surge. Takes a really long time for it to dive down and really find the Pontus, but when it is able to get in close after waiting a long time, we can see that the star drop does deliver some decent damage. What are we doing now? In any case, we're able to deal some decent damage. Took a long time, that torpedo, and you know, not amazing, but definitely in there, so that's nice. It's able to get up from underwater. That's pretty good. Well, in any case, I think I know where to grade this, so we shall be moving on. Next up is Netrameira's AoG Hummingbird, the beautiful ornithopter. So let's get in the Pontus away there. And we're gonna see what's happening. Alright. We seem to have bearing of where the Pontus is located. It knows approximately where indeed. We're firing some VLMs. I don't know if they will be able to reach the target. And oh, diff rods popping down. All of them missed. As for the missiles, let's see if they know where to go. They do not know where to go, and they explode in the water. The Hummingbird is getting into combat readiness again. Some of the missiles hit this time. And no diff guns. Well, it's moving into position. We fire one. They were a little bit too off to score a hit. We're staying really high here. Well, wonder if these VLMs will be able to hit. We got more diff rods. Ah, it seems that diff designs, this one, and of course the Manta War, but the Hummingbird 2 has some issues dealing with submarines because the diff guns far before they are accurate enough. I don't know what we got for targeting here, but now it's almost looking like we lost the target. Well, the Pontus is shelling over here. I think the Hummingbird may have lost it, I don't know. Or it's just recharging its diff guns. So sometimes the missile hit, so it's not completely unable to deal damage, but it's really bad at dealing damage so far. I'm gonna see if the diff rods pop down there and deliver a little bit. Whoa. Wow! Alright. Took some time for it to get an accurate bearing, but the Hummingbird finally were able to deliver an accurate strike. Just like the Light of the World, took some time before it was able to line up correctly and deliver a blast. So, just like the Stardrop, the Hummingbird delivers in a similar manner. Well, it can deal with submarines, not the most effective, but definitely decent enough. We shall be moving on, I believe. Next out, we have Nilden's second submission, the Invader. The Pontus has been spawned, and this is the last submission that we'll deal with in this little challenge, or in this little section. There is going to be 3 sections, where we're gonna have 8 each. So, it seems that the Invader has located where the Pontus is approximately. And we're getting hit by a tiny missile. And the Invader, oh, it's dealing some explosive damage. It's gonna stay on top of the Pontus like this. It actually seems to know where it is. No? It did know where it was. Alright. It kinda know where it is, but it's a really fast firing pack. I don't know if I would make my packs fire that fast, but we'll see if it proves effective. So in any case, we had Adnekrias, Korvax, Jonos second, Jonos first, kinda sexy Light of the World, Netrameiras, and now Nilden's second submission. Next time we'll have Nilden's third, first, Ovo, Pizza Summoner Rush, Sean Reed, and somewhere in the middle of the Sean Reeds we're going to move on to Shotgun Screamations, American, the Cringe 1, 2, and Captain Y. But that will be coming up in the future episodes. It seems that the Invader is still struggling with finding where the Pontus actually is. I wonder if it maybe is relying on... yeah. Like the Diffrod boys, I think that Nilden's second submission, the Invader, would have had a much easier time if this target was really large. It hits some of the time. It hits some of the time. It's just, I have a feeling this will take all day. Well, it's not a 0 in terms of points because it is able to see the target and it is able to deliver damage. It's just so small that it's like it's gonna take a very long time. But you know, it finds the submarine and it is able to slowly grind on it. And of course, it can stay here all day and it's never gonna be shot down by this submarine. So it stays safe there. But I think I know what to grade this thing as well as the other ones. So we'll be moving back with more tests, but not completely right now. Because this Lord High Admiral needs a coffee break. Even your Lord High Admiral in the Army of Gmodism is requiring coffee to function. It is true, and it is canon. Coffee is a requirement to function, and is of course always given out to all of our officers and enlisted in the Army of Gmodism, because how else are they supposed to function? There are alternatives like tea. That's why in the Discord we have a coffee lounge and a tea lounge. Have you used any of them? I think you may have not. But do enter our beautiful tea room and our beautiful coffee rooms for some nice discussions sometime, or just company. They are extra high audio quality. In any case, I think that has been very interesting to see. I was very impressed with Jono's first submission, being able to deliver those cram bombs with accuracy and consistently. So I will not give away what points we are giving to the crafts. I have them in my little book here. So, but I will say this: Jono's first submission was really impressive here. It did deliver, and we had some other beautiful packs like Lightwood Worlds and Netrameros dealing some really good damage too in the end. So I do believe that is enough for this time, and we'll be moving back next time with the 8 more contestants. In any case, I hope you did enjoy this, and if you did, you should definitely leave a like. This is your Lord High Admiral in the Army of Gmodism, and I'm thanking you a lot for your submissions, and it will be very cool to see more of them next week. Stay tuned, and always know that you can support the channel many ways if you want to. Other than that, please leave likes and do subscribe, and it helps me a lot too. In any case, see you next time. This is me signing out.